Right. So let's discuss the MCQs in the MTP series 2 for the November 24 attempt. Okay, coming to the question number 1. In total, we have the 15 questions to be addressed over there. Okay. So Pihu Limited is a company based in the manufacturing of the kids' toys. The company sells its product on credit, goods on credit basis. Mohan Sohan and Associates have been appointed as auditors for 24. During the course of audit, CA Mohan, the engagement partner, ask the management about the email address of the trade receivables of the company for the purpose of obtaining the balance confirmation from the trade receivable. The management of the company asks its sales supervisor to send the confirmation request to the trade receivable and collect all the responses and provides its responses to the auditor. The management of Pihu Limited also informs CA Mohan that confirmation with respect to two of its trade receivable, namely Moon and Sun Limited, won't be available as a dispute between Pihu and both the receivables is going on. With respect to the other trade receivable, the sales supervisor provided CA Mohan with all the balance confirmation. With respect to the balance confirmation request, which of the following is warranted as per the requirement of the relevant standard on auditing? Okay. Right. So what does it say? CA Mohan should not have relied on the explanation provided by the management with respect to the trade receivable Moon and Sun. He should have performed the alternative procedures with respect to such trade receivable. Yes. CA Mohan should obtain the direct response from all other trade receivable instead of the sales supervisor receiving direct responses from the trade receivable and providing them to the auditor. Yes, the entire control over the confirmation process has to be of the auditor. It's a direct written response to the auditor from the third party. So there has to be no supervisor in between. Right? So both A and B and CA Mohan should give a qualified opinion as balance confirmation with respect to two trade receivable is not available. No, the correct option over here is going to be C. Okay. Rajveer is conducting the audit of a manufacturing company. To streamline the audit process, he uses a sampling tool to select a representative sample of transaction from a large data set of the sales record. He also employs a bot to cross-check the company compliance with the statutory payment like GST, TDS. While reviewing the financial statements, Rajveer relies on the Excel to automate calculations such as variance analysis and trend reports, ensuring that the audit is completed on time and meets regulatory requirements. Which type of audit is being described in the above? Digital auditing, auditing digitally, manual auditing with technological assistance, traditional audit. So this is not manual, this is not traditional. Is it digital audit? Are you doing audit of the technology or are you using technology to do audit? You are using technology to do the audit. So you are doing auditing digitally. Okay. Next one. PK Associates, a CA firm, has been appointed as an auditor of the company for 23-24. It consists of two partners, CAT and CAK. CAT is the brother of the father of the finance director of the company Back Limited. CAK is an old friend of the finance director of the company Back Limited. Which kind of ethical threat is associated with the appointment of PK and Associates as an auditor of Back Limited? Right? So self-interest threat, advocacy threat, familiarity threat, or the self-review threat. So because there is friend and brother and all of that, it will lead to the familiarity threat, right? It would lead to the familiarity threat. Okay. Question number, this case scenario, and then question number 4 to 8. Gross Limited, an unlisted company in Jamshedpur, is engaged in the business of spices. Total paid up capital of the company is 10 crore. Details of the turnover and the profit of the company for the last 3 years is given below. 22, 23, 24 turnover and the profit or loss before tax. The company is using conventional method for preparing spices. This requires more human intervention and hence cost of production is high as compared to innovative method used by other new companies. Though the company had significant growth in the past years, it has not done well over the last 2 financial years due to competition. A new competitor, namely the Spice Herbs Limited, has come into the market during the year 22, and by the end of 23, they captured around 75% of the market share by offering the product at a reduced price. They use new machinery which allows minimizing the manual steps and reducing the cost of labor. In order to reduce the cost of production and thereby recapture the market, the management of Gross Limited has planned to erect a new plant with the automatic machine. The estimated cost of the plant and machinery is 75 lakh. The company approached IDN Bank for a term loan of 70 lakh, which was to be repaid in 5 years. On 28th December, the bank sanctioned the loan and disbursed 35 lakh till 31st March 24. Gross Limited has appointed Hook and Crook CAs as auditors of the company at its AGM held on 15th August 23 for a period of 5 years. As agreed, the audit team commenced their audit work for 24 in February 24 and completed the work by the end of May 24. The audit team submitted the following findings to the engagement partner. PX Limited, one of the material suppliers, filed a case against the company on 10th August for a compensation of 2.5 crore. Company has made an estimate for allowance of debtors at 8%. 65% of the value of inventory was only covered in physical verification during the year due to fire. Company got a show cause notice from the State Pollution Control Board for the contravention of the provisions of hazardous and waste management rules. 3 incidents of fraud notice, total 1.25 crore, committed by the purchase manager, accounts manager, and by a cashier. Based on the above facts, answer the following MCQs. Okay. Though the company has significant growth in the past years, it has not done well over the last 2 financial years. As per SA 570, there are certain events or conditions that individually or collectively may cast significant doubt about the going concern assumption. In order to assess whether Gross Limited is a going concern or not, which of the following audit procedure should not be performed? Which of the following procedure should not be performed? Analyze and discuss with the management of the company to find out whether installation of new cost plant and machinery would enable the company to reduce cost of production. Yes. Inquire with the company's legal counsel regarding the existence of legal litigation and claim against the company, reasonableness of the management's assessment of their outcome and estimation of their financial implication. Yes. Evaluate management's future plan and strategy to increase the market share of the product. Looks like yes. Analyze and discuss the company's cash flow and profit of the previous year with the projected accounts. I think this one we will not cover as a part of our audit procedure for going concern. So A, B, C, yes, but D, no. So this is the audit procedure which will not be performed. Okay. Company has made an estimate for allowance of debtors at 8%. Some financial statement items cannot be measured reliably, but they can only be estimated. The nature and reliability of information available to management to support the making of an accounting estimate varies widely, which thereby affects the degree of estimation uncertainty associated with accounting estimates. Please advise which among the following have a higher estimation uncertainty and higher risk as per SA 540. Right, in 540 you have the examples of high estimation uncertainty and the low estimation uncertainty. So they are saying which among the following is an example of the high estimation uncertainty. Judgments about the outcome of pending litigation with PX against the company, estimates made for inventory obsolescence that are frequently made and updated, a model used to measure the accounting estimate which is well known and assumptions to be made to the model are observable in the marketplace, accounting estimates made for the allowance for doubtful accounts, where the results of the auditor's review of the similar accounting estimates made in the prior period does not indicate any substantial difference between the original accounting estimate and the actual outcome. So B, C, A and D, there is the low estimation uncertainty. Only for A you have the high estimation uncertainty. Okay. The company in the notes accompanying its financial statements disclosed the existence of a suit filed against the company with full details. Based on the evidence obtained, it is necessary to draw users' attention to the matter presented in the financial statement by way of a clear additional communication, as there is an uncertainty related to the future outcome of the litigation. In this situation, which of the following reporting option would be correct if auditor is satisfied with the conclusions reached by the management and this matter is fundamental to the readers of the financial statement? Might include an emphasis of matter paragraph having a clear reference to the matter being emphasized and issue a qualified opinion, include a basis for adverse opinion paragraph and issue an adverse opinion having a clear reference to the matter in the notes to account, include in the basis for disclaimer of opinion having a reference to the matter and issue a disclaimer of opinion, include an emphasis paragraph in the audit report having a clear reference to the matter being emphasized and to where relevant disclosures that fully describe the matter can be found in the financial statements. Yes. Right? You give the heading emphasis of matter, second clear reference as to where the related information can be found in the financial statements, and auditor's opinion is not modified in respect of the matter being emphasized. Okay. Next one. Company got a show cause notice from the State Pollution Control Board. As per SA 250, the auditor shall perform audit procedures to help identify instances of the non-compliance with the other laws and regulations that may have a material effect on the financial statements. As the audit team of the company becomes aware of information concerning an instance of non-compliance with law, what would not be an audit procedure to be performed? Understand the nature of the act and the circumstances under which it has occurred, and obtain further information to evaluate the possible effect. Yes, discuss the matter with the management, and if they do not provide the information, you seek the legal advice. Okay, monitoring the legal requirement and compliance with the code of conduct, and ensuring that operating procedures are designed to assist in the prevention of non-compliance with law, regulation, and report accordingly. Evaluate the of non-compliance in relation to the other aspects of audit, including the risk assessment and reliability of written representation, and take the appropriate action. Right, so now the non-compliance is already detected. You're monitoring the legal requirement and compliance with code of conduct, and ensuring that operating procedures are designed to assist in prevention of non-compliance. No. Right, this is after the non-compliance has been detected. What audit procedures will be performed by the auditor? A, B, and the D. Right, so C procedure will not be performed. Okay, the company has availed some new plant and machinery during the year under audit. Out of the total loan sanction, an amount of 35 lakh was earmarked, kept aside for the purchase of the machinery, spice grinder. But the company has acquired an improved model of the machinery, spice grinder and mixer instead. State which of the following reporting option would be correct. State the fact in the audit report that out of the loan taken for machinery, spice grinder, 35 lakh was not utilized for acquiring the machinery. Ask the management to change the terms and conditions of the term loan as the company has acquired a different machinery. Report under CARO if the management does not agree with the demand. State the fact in the report that the term loan has been applied for the purpose for which it has been sanctioned. State the fact in CARO report that the term loan taken has not been applied for the purpose for which it has been obtained. Also qualify the report as there are misstatements that are material but not pervasive. Instead of buying model X, you're buying model X1, an improvised version of the model. So still the money has been used for the purpose for which it has been taken. When the money has been applied, the loan has been utilized for the purpose for which it has been obtained. Okay. And so coming to the next case scenario. Unco Bank has 145 branches all over India by the year ended 2023. 12 branches of the bank were already covered for concurrent audit, and the bank's audit committee decided to include the following branches for concurrent audit. Udaipur branch, which deals in treasury functions like investment and interbank borrowing, but not in bill rediscounting. Varanasi branch, which started the foreign exchange business from February 24. Chandigarh branch, whose aggregate deposits were more than 35% of the aggregate deposits of the bank. Globe and Associate Chartered Accountant were appointed as the stock auditors by the bank audit committee for the 4 branches for 23. The bank's management appointed and fixed the remuneration of Globe and Associates for 22-23 for the same 5 branches for which they were given the assignment of the stock audit. At the Kolkata branch of the bank, there were high value cash deposits in one of the current account during April 23. Your firm has been appointed as the concurrent auditor for the Kolkata branch for 24. The cash collected by the branch was remitted to currency chest on the very same day, but during the concurrent audit for the month of April itself, the auditor noticed that the branch was unable to show intimation sent via email to currency chest for the cash remittance. Based on the above facts, answer the following question. Globe and Associate Chartered Accountants were already appointed for the stock audit by the audit committee for the 4 branches. So whether Globe and Associate Chartered Accountants are authorized to accept the appointment as the statutory auditor? No. Right? If you are doing the stock audit, can you do the stat audit? No. So cannot accept the appointment as appointment as it was not offered by the audit committee and bank's management is not authorized. Globe and Associates can accept the appointment as they were already appointed for the stock audit. Globe and Associates can accept the appointment as they've been appointed as the statutory audit, or Globe and Associates cannot accept the appointment as the audit firm, should not undertake the statutory audit assignment while they are associated with the internal assignments on the bank during the same year. Right, so this is the recent decision of the Ethical Standard Board. Next, if you're doing any internal assignments with the bank, should you be doing the stat audit for the same period? No. Okay. Whether the bank's management is authorized to appoint and fix the remuneration of the statutory auditor without consulting the audit committee of the board of directors or members in the AGM, select the correct option from the following. Bank's management cannot appoint or fix the remuneration of the statutory auditor unless the same has been passed by a resolution in the AGM of the bank. Bank management can appoint and fix the remuneration of the statutory auditor only in consultation with the audit committee of the board. Globe and Associates were already appointed for stock audit. Therefore, only audit committee is authorized to appoint or fix their remuneration. Globe and Associate Chartered Accountant were already appointed for stock audit. So, bank's management is authorized to appoint the same firm as statutory auditor without consulting audit committee or members in AGM. Okay. Right, so cannot appoint or fix the remuneration or can appoint and fix the remuneration. It is they cannot appoint or fix the remuneration of the statutory auditor unless the same is passed by a resolution in the annual general meeting of the bank. Next, section 142, who has the power to decide the remuneration of the company? It says the company in general meeting or in the manner determined therein, right? So AGM resolution is required here. Okay. How the discrepancy of not preserving the intimations of the cash remittances to the currency chest by the Kolkata branch of the bank should be dealt by the concurrent auditor in his report. So whether it's a serious irregularity or a minor irregularity or so, it says the auditor should report the matter as a major irregularity in his report. The auditor should verify the details from the email sent to the currency and close the matter. As it is a minor irregularity, the auditor can ignore the same. The auditor should discuss the importance of preserving the hard soft copy of the email sent for cash remittance with the branch manager and check for its compliance in the next audit report. Right, so action is more important over here. So what does it say? The auditor should discuss the importance of preserving the hard and soft copy of the email for the cash remittance with the branch manager and check for its compliance in the next audit period. Okay, next one, case scenario 3. And AIM and Company Chartered Accountants is a newly started firm. Their first assignment was to conduct a statutory audit of DM Cracker Limited, a cracker manufacturing company. Since it was their first audit, the partners immediately accepted the work without paying attention to the relevant procedure. Gaya 811 and a NOC. They started their audit work from 25th May for March 23. During the course of audit, the auditors requested for the financials of the preceding previous year along with the details of transaction till 25th May. The management, however, argued that both the details are outside the scope of audit and hence told that they cannot provide the details. However, after repeated requests from the auditor, they finally provided the same in September 23. It was suspected that the senior accountant could have indulged in a fraud amounting to 115 lakh. However, on further investigation by the management, it was found that there was a gross mistake on the part of the accountant who had wrongly credited certain accounts by mistake which amounted to 17 lakh. The company provided the proper and correct evidence for the balance amount. Hence, the auditors were strongly convinced that no fraud has taken place. Due to the absence of audit committee, the auditor suggested to the director of finance to replace the existing accountant as he was poor in basic accounting skills. Initially, the company thought of handing over the tax audit work to the previous auditor. However, since they had a bad experience last year in form of an argument regarding the contents to be included in tax audit report, especially with respect to the disclosure of key ratios, it was decided that AIM and Company will act as the tax auditor. After the conclusion of the audit, Sham, one of the partner of the firm, was confused as to whether the firm will be guilty of misconduct as for a plausible violation of any of the provisions of the Chartered Accountants Act. He contacted Ghansham, his partner, to get clarified about the doubt. Okay, so statutory auditor, can you be appointed for the tax audit? Yes, statutory auditor can be appointed. Messrs. Hire P Limited, a recruitment agency, contacted Mr. Sham regarding a vacancy in one of a leading manufacturing company. Eventually, Mr. Sham resigned as the partner of A and Company and joined the company. The agency raised an invoice for the services rendered by him, which amount to 0.2% of the CTC offered. Mr. Sham agreed to pay the amount. However, since his friend was the manager at the agency, he received full discount on the invoice. Right, so CA in services giving a share in the emoluments. Right, so that is clause 1, part 2 of the first schedule. And a clause 1, part 2, first schedule. Angered by the act of resignation, Ghansham filed a complaint with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, stating that Sham has violated the provisions of the act and is guilty of professional misconduct. Having come to know that Ghanshyam was one who filed a complaint against Mr. Sham, decided to take revenge. While thinking of a suitable reason to file a complaint, he recalled the fact that Ghanshyam was engaged as a registration authority for obtaining digital signature for his client. Is it allowed? Yes. So that is not guilty. By quoting the same, he filed a complaint against Ghanshyam, stating that he was guilty of misconduct for violating the provisions of the Chartered Accountant Act. Okay, and based on the above, answer the following question. What can you infer from the situation given in point 1? Management was right. Both the details asked by the auditor, prior period and also subsequent events, were out of the scope of audit. Auditors have the right only to ask the details of the previous year and not up to 25th May of the current year. Both the auditors and the management have the right to ask for the detail, and both have the right not to provide the detail. Auditor have the right to ask both the detail. The management's contention that it is outside the scope of audit is wrong. Okay. Is M and Company guilty of professional misconduct for violating any of the provisions of the Chartered Accountant Act? Yes, they have not obtained the NOC from the previous auditor. So 112, that is clause 1, part 1, second schedule, breach of confidentiality. इधर कुछ confidentiality का नहीं है. Right, then after that 222, breach of confidentiality CA in service. Again, that is not relevant over here. No, the firm has not violated any of the provisions of the act and is not guilty. No, they have not communicated with the predecessor auditor. Then, is Sham guilty of professional misconduct? If clause, right? So, is Sham guilty? So, 0.2% of the CTC offered. So, Sham would be guilty of professional misconduct under the, right? Sham would be guilty of professional misconduct under 121. Clause 1, part 2 of the first schedule. And is Ghanshyam a registration authority for the digital signature? Is Ghanshyam guilty of professional misconduct? No, Mr. Ghanshyam is not guilty of the professional misconduct. 1111, engages in any other business occupation. Part 3, second schedule, imprisonment for more than 6 months. And clause 1, part 2 of the second schedule, 122, contravenes any of the PRG. Right, so here it says no, Mr. Ghanshyam is not guilty of the professional misconduct. Okay, right, so with that we covered the MCQs in the MTP series 2 for the November 24th attempt. Okay, thank you for your patient listening, and I hope that these MCQ discussions have been beneficial for you. Okay.